Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Anime Lounge podcast. I'm your host, Matt, alongside with my other host, Lance. And as always, we like to start off with an adult beverage of choice, and Lance was very gracious to bring something new today. What did you bring for us?
Today, I went to a liquor store, and they were giving out samples of this Benchmark brand. The dude said that it was made by the creators of Buffalo Trace. So that's a very well-known name. So I thought, let's go for it. Tried like 3 different samples. There was like 5 or 6 different bottles there. And I found one that I liked. And this one was called Benchmark Handpicked Single Barrel Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. So yeah, this Benchmark, what do you think of it?
It definitely has an interesting note to start off with.
Yeah, the dude said that this one was just a little bit more of your classic spiced aged barrel kind of whiskey.
Yeah, definitely. Like those spices right in the beginning really hits you, and then it's just kind of your typical whiskey at the end. So It's interesting. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not against this at all. And the price tag on it was attractive also, so didn't have to spend too much on this. So hopefully this stays that way, and I'm not against buying this again in the future for myself.
Yeah. Don't smell it and drink it. It's not a good not good on the palate to start off with, but as far as a drinker is concerned, it's pretty good. And then what do you got for a beer for us?
And then today you were nice enough to save me an Erie Brewing Company Derailed Ale. This one's flavored black cherry cream ale. And I do really like this.
Yeah.
It's very forward on the black cherry for sure. Didn't expect it to be that strong, but it's really good. I like cream ales.
Yeah, if you want like a flavored cream ale, they do a good job. That's a good one.
Yeah, definitely. And what about you? What's your beer?
I am drinking a Saranac. Yeah, we'll go with that. Saranac. Adirondack Lager. It's not bad. I'm not a huge lager person, so
lagers are okay. I will definitely drink them once in a while, but it'll never be my go-to unless it's like Land Shark. Land Sharks are definitely delicious, especially in the summer.
Yep.
And then I guess Coronas are there too, but I see lagers as a drinking in the sun in the summer days kind of a drink.
Yeah, and I mean Adirondack makes sense. It's a good outdoor drink. It's not bad. Definitely reminds me of Land Shark and Corona and all that stuff. So
okay, nice. We have something new that we are doing every Sunday. So we decided that we're going to go live 9:30 Chicago time. So if everyone would like to jump on YouTube and join us for some casual anime talk, join us there, leave comments. We'd love to chat with you. We also will be doing a weekly pack rip for a Pokemon card, so you can join us with that one as well. See if you can witness us pull something rare. And if you still like Pokemon, stay tuned to the end of every episode because I do a Pokemon quiz.
Yeah, we're having a fun time with the going live events. It's been fun, just kind of chilling, talking outside anime. If you do join us, you get to kind of get a behind the scenes of just kind of what we're watching, what we're looking forward to. It's a good time. It's a really good time.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Lance, what are we going to be covering today?
All right, so today we are going to be covering My Status as an Assassin Obviously Exceeds the Heroes. Another one of those mouthful titles, but everyone's going to probably know this one more as My Status as an Assassin. And the synopsis that we're going to go with today is My Status as an Assassin follows Akira Oda, a high schooler summoned to a fantasy world with his class to fight a demon king. While his classmates get hero roles, Akira gains a hidden assassin class, only to find out that his stats actually surpass the heroes. He uncovers a royal conspiracy, is framed for a crime, and must use his stealth to survive and seek vengeance. And that's what we're going to go with today.
Cool. That's good enough.
Yeah, don't need to go into depth because that is what our conversation's for.
Exactly. Before we do get into that conversation, Lance, let's hear your Lance's lessons today.
Today's Lance's lessons is going to be the Japanese word for night. And night is yoru. Yoru is spelt Y-O-R-U. And yoru is relevant to today because we follow around a nice little demon kitty that Akira dubbed the name Night. So I thought night would be a very relevant word for today.
Yeah, your favorite. You probably were like, fuck yeah, let's go.
Yeah, sure. All right. Now to get further into some more information, Matt likes to read the manga for every anime that we watch. So were there any differences between the manga and the anime? NANI?!
First off, I'm going to start with saying that this was a light novel to begin with. So if you really want to get those differences, check out the light novel. I did not get a chance to read the light novel because Lance and I had to pivot 5 days before we recorded.
Yeah.
I'm happy I got through the manga, though. As of the end of March, when we're recording this, there are 37 chapters. Basically, it gets through the first half of the season. Like, it doesn't even get to Akira and Amelia, like, saying bows to each other.
Oh, wow.
So that's what, episode 6? I think you got part through episode 6. Because it ends with Akira turning down his classmates. So you remember in Crow's house, and he turns them down, and they get all butthurt about it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's basically where it ends. It's them storming off.
Okay.
So... pretty halfway through the series, and it was 37 chapters.
Okay, that's quite a bit for the amount of episodes that we have.
Yes. The whole beginning part where the school, like that whole school part happens, like basically a third of the first episode, that doesn't happen. Basically, they're in the classroom getting summoned, and that's when the series starts.
Okay.
You find out that the hero, his name, I want to just make sure that I spelled this right to begin with. It is... Tsukasa. I forgot the S. I was like, that doesn't seem right. Tsukasa, the hero, is super jealous of Akira because Sauron and Akira are close. Basically, super jealous of him.
Okay.
You see it more in the manga than you do in the anime. You see it a little bit in the anime, but not nearly as much as you do in the manga, which you also find out more about that in a minute. It had been a month since the parade had happened when they went into the labyrinth. The Minotaur was found on level 30, and I think it was supposed to be like a level 60 boss or something like that.
Yeah, they definitely made comment that someone of a higher level is on a lower level.
They don't say the level. They're just like, something of this level or something on a higher level shouldn't be on this level or on this low of a level, I think is what it said. Yeah. There's a chance you learn skills if you experience, like, basically if you get attacked by a skill enough, you have a chance to learn it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how Akira can learn, like, his roar and intimidate and stuff, which I don't know if they go through that in the anime, but...
No, I have no memory of him learning additional skills like that.
Yeah. Tsukasa was the one that went looking for Akira to tell him about Sauron. So basically... Akira was chilling in a tree. Tsukasa comes running, finds him in the tree, and was like, hey, something happened to Sauron. Come, let's go. Instead of just kind of Akira like walking in on everybody around Sauron.
Okay. Yep.
Akira pulled the knife out of Sauron's chest and then was given a letter and a bag. So the Akira had talked to Sauron and basically was like, hey, I think I need to leave. Can you please pack me a bag for the near future? And basically that's what that go bag was for.
Okay.
So it was already pre-planned.
Mm-hmm.
And then the vice captain, Gilles, I think it's, Gil, Gillesasti.
He's the other one.
He's the vice captain. He's the one that survived.
The other nice captain.
Yep.
Aside from Sauron.
Yep. So Gilles told Tsukasa everything after Sauron had died. So remember, Tsukasa was no longer possessed. So after that happened, before they had left the castle, he already knew what all had happened. I'm seeing it took Akira to get to level 60. I think that's when he found Amelia. Oh, the Chimera is on level 60. That's what it is.
Okay.
And then... after he had beaten the Chimera, he got a skill called Good Luck. It's exactly as it sounds. Just basically his luck is increased.
Yeah, makes sense.
Amelia is level 51 when Akira saved her. And something that's interesting is her mana is unmeasured. So basically she has unlimited mana.
It's totally badass.
Yeah. And the world eye is not... I mean, they kind of say it, but they don't. So... almost nobody has the world eye. And so throughout the series, after Akira and Amelia and Knight go to the Elvish lands, Akira starts using the World Eye all the time. Because basically he's like, oh, I was afraid, which I'm going to get into it, but he's like, I was afraid and that's why I'm not using it. And so he starts using it more basically all the time moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Amelia helps Akira train in the dungeon, and then he trains both his magic and physical skills. Knight was the floor boss of level 80. Knight basically explains how some dungeons are more like physical resistant, some dungeons are more magic resistant. This is one of the dungeons that was physical resistant, which is basically he was trying to pass the dungeon or labyrinth, however you want to call it, on hard mode because he was trying to only use his physical skills instead of his magic skills.
Okay. Yep.
And after Akira and Amelia return to the Elvish land, so one of the differences that happens is when Akira and Amelia return to the Elvish land, Karika tries to hypnotize Akira. He isn't affected, and then a fight ensues. And basically he one-hit KOs her.
Mm-hmm.
So then...
Huge difference.
Yeah. And then after that fight, all the guards surround and attack Akira. Akira uses shadow magic to negate all the arrows. And then their father interferes.
Okay. I think that's kind of how the anime went.
Kind of, but there's a fight that happens before. And then there's another fight, but this time the fight happens in front of like everybody from within the castle.
Another fight on top of that one?
Yes. Because
Okay.
basically the father was like, yeah, I know you two had an agreement, but you're going to have to do it again because I wasn't there to witness the agreement. So cool. And so then they have a fight in like the battleground, and essentially the same thing happens. Essentially,
like another one-hit KO kind of thing, or was
no,
this one more...
like from the anime,
Okay.
basically the same concept as that one.
Okay.
One thing that does happen is their father confronts Karika, right?
In Japanese, they're gonna substitute the L's and the R's.
Okay.
Karika.
Okay. Yeah, because I wrote it as R's, so it's throwing me off. In the manga, before the second fight happens, Kalika's father confronts her, and she tried lying to him, and then he slaps her in the face. It's like, you don't get to lie to me. It's like, fuck.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Akira and Kalika are twins, which we know. They were born on different days, though, which is kind of interesting.
You know what? That threw me off so much because Amelia was always like, my younger sister this, my younger sister that. Are we talking like seconds or minutes like we do naturally?
It's probably hours.
But, or even that. But then, like you're saying here, it's days or... because they're twins, they were just born on different days. We'll put it that way. Okay, sure.
Akira saw a vision of his whole class being dead the first time he had used the World Eye.
Okay.
And that's the thing that he was scared of. So that's why he didn't want to keep using it. The guild ranks. There's gray, blue, yellow, red, silver, and gold. You see Akira doing odd jobs to level up. When the monsters broke out of the labyrinth, the guild made everybody come together. Akira was paired with the guild master's brother. And then him and Crow kind of talk, and they're like, I think that they are in line with the demons and that they did this intentionally. The labyrinth, you get to see more of the labyrinth. The labyrinth was kind of cool. I'm just going to say, if you want to see it, look it up, because it's basically it's all the levels between all the 10 floors are open. But if you were to try to like jump down or use ropes to get down and stuff, flying monsters would attack you.
Okay, cool. It's
very interesting, but the concept stays the same as far as them speed running the dungeon. Like I said, Amelia was on level 97. The demon that caused the hero's party to retreat was Mahiro. So the demon that caused Amelia to pierce Akira in the stomach.
Okay.
So basically, he is the second strongest demon.
Yeah, he was the second class that we learned like more towards like the last couple episodes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So he is the second strongest demon behind only the Demon Lord. And then if you remember them talking about, there was a demon that caused the hero's party to retreat.
Mm-hmm.
That was the demon.
Okay.
And then the ending of the manga obviously, because it's not current with the anime or the light novel, the ending is what I had previously mentioned.
Okay.
And that's it. That's all of it.
Yeah, a lot of information for what's available, that's for sure.
Yeah, especially for 37 chapters. It's pretty good. Kind of a lot.
Yeah, not bad at all.
And then Lantz was being a superhero, and he decided he wanted to go really above and beyond and get through part of the light novel. How far did you get in that? I'm curious.
Yeah, so I had some semi-spare time, and I put some Naruto watching time on the side so I can start listening to the light novel.
Good call.
Yeah. So I started a light novel. Listening to it was going to take somewhere between 7 and 8 hours. I did not finish the entire first light novel. And when I went back to go re-listen to it, the source I listened to no longer existed. So I made it like somewhere between 90 and 95% through the first light novel.
Oh, man.
I'll share everything that I learned until that point.
Okay.
I will say your manga mentions, very, very similar to everything that's in the light novel. So that's very nice to hear.
Yeah.
So the light novel starts out like the anime does, with like the assassin fighting an Akira on the rooftop.
Okay, interesting. But
it also starts out with the book talking about an elf girl getting eaten by a dark slime and then being dragged away.
Okay, so they foreshadow what we're going to happen in the later on. Okay, nice.
So it was relatively quick. That's the end of the prologue. Another thing that I found interesting is that the narration in this book switches between characters. So it's not specifically following Akira, or it's not talking about other characters in third person or whatever. It will specifically say point of view, this character, and then we'll talk about that person in first character. So like the first time that I took notice of this was it went into Sauron's point of view, and he was talking to Akira, and Sauron was saying like, I was doing this and talking to this little boy. I'm like, oh, that threw me off for a quick second. Because I'm also listening to this book at 1.5 speed, so I can try to speed it up. And then when I picked up on it, I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So I kind of appreciated the different point of views. During that time, Sauron's talking about other gods. So there is a large list of gods. Maybe not large, but I would say somewhere around 5 to 10 gods that are in this world. And Sauron goes into a little bit of detail. I think he said the god of the human world is Ayers, and he was saying that Ayers is the one who created humans to have stat levels. So interesting. I thought that was pretty cool. I'm just going to go through my notes. Like you said, Akira learns Intimidate and Roar after beating the first Minotaur. So yeah, after you encounter certain skills, you can then kind of learn them.
Yep.
Like you said, with Akira sleeping in the tree, that's not what happened in the anime. In the anime, he was told, don't sleep in the castle because the queen now knows your face. Akira just naturally goes and sleeps in a tree.
Yep.
And then the next scene was finding Sauron stabbed. And unlike the anime, where the anime was Akira like freaking out and overreacting, I'm sure like the manga showed too, he just casually walks up and he's very calm about everything, and then he gets blamed for the murder.
Yep.
Every fight in the dungeon gets extra elaborated. I was very impressed on how much time was spent on all of these various monster fights, and I'll talk a little bit more about that, but that's just a pre-warning, I guess.
Okay.
They explain that shadow magic never existed, and Akira is the first with it. And they also say that it has a mind of its own.
Which we do kind of find out.
Right. They also talk quite often about eating monster meat, and they say that the stronger the monster, the tastier it is. Amelia was saved on floor 62, and in the anime, I'm pretty sure she was saved on 75 and brought back to floor 69 where water was. So I thought that was a little strange that there was a level difference.
Yeah, the huge level difference between all of them. Yeah, interesting.
Again, they go into a shit ton of time just battling monsters, leveling up, getting to know each other, talking about how obsessive Amelia is about eating meat. And there's just a shit ton of information that really doesn't matter, but it's nice to hear. Like, for instance, there was this pig monster that they fought, and then Amelia was super excited to eat it because it was a high-level pig monster. But then Akira's like, trust me, you don't want to eat that thing. It tastes bad. So that was interesting. That scene in the anime where Akira and Kisuk found out that their sisters were friends, that scene happened because Kisuk found out that Akira had a part-time job doing construction work, and Akira didn't want him to tell all the other classmates because he'd be embarrassed that other people would treat him differently because he is doing side jobs to take care of his family. And like he didn't want that trait about him being out there in the known. But Kisuk thought that it was a good trait. And then that's when they found out that their sisters are friends. Amelia goes into more detail about the colored rankings. So at this point, like you were saying in your manga mentions about the colors, the ranking in the anime wasn't brought up until like the second half. But here we are still in the first labyrinth and we're talking about the rankings. Much like you said about all the colors, except there is one additional rank and it's called the black rank. It's higher than gold, but no one has reached black in over a century, so it's been basically forgotten. So I wonder if that's a little seed to drop for the far future or something, like if Akira reaches a black rank or something.
I could see that. Yeah.
Amelia also shared that she was once engaged in the past, but her sister convinced him that she was an abusive and bad person and that Amelia got chased out of the Elven area because of her sister. So a little bit more information about basically how Kalika was mind controlling people.
Yes, dude. Oh, they probably didn't even go in. You probably didn't get to the point where you find out who she was engaged to.
Oh, nope. Small chance I did, but I really didn't pick up on anything. So if...
Okay, we can talk about it in a minute.
Okay.
Yep.
The light novel calls night. So I don't know if you mentioned in your...
No, I didn't mention in the manga mentions. No.
Yeah, okay. So half the reason we chose Yoru as our Lance's lessons today is because Matt told me that in his manga, they kept Knight's name as Yoru. They just didn't translate it to the American. But in the light novel, it was translated to Knight. But he was explaining that Knight is still considering the Demon Lord as his main master and Akira is his second master. But he has a much higher favor for Akira. So technically, he's got two masters.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that's mentioned.
Oh, was it? Okay,
I might have missed it, then. But I think I noticed that on my second watch through.
Maybe.
And it was like it was when the demons were like when the Mahiro was like, oh, you swapped over, or oh, you're still. It was like a line, and he's like, yeah, but or Knight was but this is yada 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 or something along those lines. So it was very super easy to miss.
Okay. I wrote down that they stopped on floor 84 and then they took the magic circle.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, right. I for whatever reason, I have a feeling that they took the magic circle as soon as Knight was taken as the familiar. Also, the familiar deal was super fast forwarded. It was just give me a name and then we like if our like magic powers connect, we will be a thing. Didn't go into detail about like going into each other's psyche and having a quick battle. None of that happened in the light novel.
You know, I'm pretty sure they skipped that in the manga too.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, so my notes tell me, floor 84 is when they took the magic circle, and then Amelia's father is the one that banished her, and that she didn't get chased out, ? Because like I said, Amelia was saying that she got chased out because of her sister, but then she's saying that her father banished her. And then we come to find soon later that her father was actually under control of Kalika. She did use her powers on her father and everybody else in the area, obviously excluding the that one dude who died and came back. I didn't get to that part in the light novel, but that's just where we are in the anime.
Okay.
And then much like you were saying about the battle, there was a quick semi-battle before the father showed up. Nothing truly happened. No shadow magic was used.
Yep.
I don't remember them saying he used shadow magic to stop arrows, but there was a confrontation. Father showed up. He had broken the curse, got mad at everybody. And then he's like, okay, well, Amelia, if you want to leave, then you're going to have to duel me. Or Akira, if you want her to leave, then Akira, you're going to have to duel me. And then like a little bit of conversation happened. They end up going back to the castle. So they totally skipped the duel. They end up talking. And then Akira was like, hey, about that duel, you still want to do it? And he's like, oh, sure. Then I choose Kalika as my proxy. And then they go do the fight. And then just like you said, happened in an instant blow, one-shot KO. They talked about how he swiftly, like lightning, with a sheathed sword, stabbed Kalika in the stomach, knocked her out. And then there was controversy about like it was so quick that other people are going to think it was magic. But ultimately the king was like, nah, this is fair. I trust this. And he let that happen.
Okay.
And yeah, so it was just literally that quick. It was barely not a fight at all. And then that's where my light novel listening stopped. And I regret to inform that I couldn't listen any further.
Okay. So Liam, pretty sure that's
Liam, yep, that guy.
that who Amelia was engaged to.
Oh, interesting.
Because he is essentially the head knight, I guess you could call it. And so,
yeah,
pretty typical, but yes.
A little bit more detail about the eyes. The
world eyes?
The world eyes.
Yes.
Yeah, they did go into all that information about how it's super rare, but they also talked about how it is given. And I'm pretty sure the book said it is given when you are struck by a demon or something like that. So
interesting.
It is insanely rare to get it to begin with, which doesn't make too much sense because obviously, Akira was summoned, so he's going to be given all these abilities. But then it makes me wonder if Amelia was struck by a demon and then, or maybe...
Aurorum Trace, the one demon that Kilika had ran into, and then maybe, but I'm pretty sure she had the world eyes like to begin with.
Yeah, maybe. So they went into that kind of detail that stuck with me, but
yeah,
take that as far as you want.
So some of the details are just kind of all over the place. They don't really make too much sense.
Yeah. Also, like I said, shit ton of side information in the dungeon, just casually fighting monsters and just learning more and more. So much little stuff. Doesn't truly matter, but if you want to learn more, the light novel is chock full of it. It was hours. They spent over half the light novel just in the dungeon itself, just fighting.
Very cool. That's cool. That's very cool.
Yeah. Oh, also, currently there are 5 light novels. It is ongoing. And Google told me that typically a light novel first season takes 3 to 4 books, but at the rate that we're going...
That's not true. It was probably...
Yeah, it was a Google AI, so...
Honestly, season 1 probably would have been volume 1, season 2, or part 2. The last 12 or 6 episodes probably would have been volume 2.
That's what I was assuming.
Just from like how far you got in the light novel compared to the anime, I would assume you got about halfway through.
Yeah, that's a solid 2 volumes for each season. And if that's the case, we're at about season 3.5 at this point with what's currently out there.
You said 7?
There's 5 total.
5 total? Yeah. I guess it kind of just depends on what's in 3, 4, and 5.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to say season 2 did not get confirmed, which is fine. We're not super far.
Yeah, this does feel a little soon. There's still a bunch of information, so you can't speed rush this one. But I do expect season 2 for sure. I feel like this was a real good anime, enough for me to go and listen to some of the light novel and get some extra info. Yeah.
Well, what'd you think of this series?
Overall, very pleased with it. I didn't think anything was like too fast or too slow. Like I said, I was interested enough to see what the light novel had to say. Some things, I guess, did happen a little fast. Like the fight scenes, they weren't exactly too enthralling.
Yep.
There wasn't too much life or death on the line. I mean, there was at moments, of course, but this isn't like your Dragon Ball Z fight scenes kind of stuff.
Yep.
But the story itself, I'm really interested in. So I am very pleased. The characters are interesting, and I am very invested to learn more about this series in general.
Okay, awesome.
So yeah, probably a solid 8. That's a good 8.
Okay.
What about you?
You are notoriously a much easier grader than I am. I would say this was a very easy 7.
Okay.
A solid. I enjoyed the characters. Akira was a good character. Amelia was a good character. There was some weird parts that kind of seemed like we missed. Like, we get to Amelia and Akira, like, you could tell they're kind of close, and then they go to, all right, you're the only person I ever want to be with, and I love you, and let's, like, pseudo get married. And I'm just like, how did you go from that to there in, like, a half an episode?
As an anime watcher, totally understand. In the light novel, they are flirting like crazy in the dungeon. They talk about how, like, they brush skin and, like, they both get embarrassed. Akira is always talking about how pretty she is and how big her assets are, and
that's funny.
And just overall flirting in general. So it was definitely there in the light novel,
and that I can see. I just feel like there was some things that were left out in the anime. But as far as the anime is concerned, I watched it twice and enjoyed both times. Mm-hmm. It was really good. It was really easy. Reading the manga was really easy. It was fun. So a series itself, it's good. not super deep. Not a whole lot to it.
No.
But, like Akira's abilities are super cool.
Definitely. Reminds me a lot of Solo Leveling.
Yes. And so it's a lot of surface level stuff. And there's some other parts to it that, it just kind of, the series itself, not super deep. So it was good. Just, I can't put it above a 7.
That's fair. It almost makes me want to knock it down to a 7.5 because 8 is a very good one. So I'll amend myself to 7.5. I won't drop to a 7, but a 7.5. Yep.
Like I said, you're an easier grader than I am. So 7.5, still a very good grade. I'd say a 7 is a very good grade.
It's still technically a good grade.
Because you've got to be fragrant level quality to be like a 9. So a 7's a good watch. This is definitely something I'd be like, yep. If you like anime, you're going to like this. There's not any fan service, really.
No, not too much. And if there is, it's so subtle. It's so quick. It's like Amelia getting out of the shower. She's like in a towel and you don't even see much there anyway.
Yep. So you get some of that, but other than that, there's nothing too crazy. So you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about any awkward visual things that happen. So that was pretty nice. No harem stuff. I enjoyed that aspect.
Oh, for sure. Oh, one quick thing that I just remembered too. I don't remember the anime ever being kind of specific on putting a gender role to Knight, but the light novel definitely made Knight a male. They said him a lot.
Okay.
So I don't know if you picked up on any of that.
No, and I mean, I don't know for a fact if Knight is voiced by a man or a woman. Let's be honest, it doesn't really matter.
No, but I had the impression that English sounded more like a woman, so I assumed
more feminine at the very minimum. And so I did assume that Knight was a woman. On top of, in anime, you generally see a cat as a female versus a male. Not always.
Not always. But yeah, that's my first impression too. I'm just going to assume more feminine.
And I just assumed Knight was a female.
Yep.
But interesting. At the end of the day, doesn't change anything.
No, not at all.
Yeah, this was good. I really enjoyed it. It was kind of funny. We were kind of scrambling to figure out what we were going to cover next. And we both instantly were like, hey, let's cover this. And
simultaneously. Yeah, a little behind the scenes. We were preparing to cover Fire Force Season 3 Core 2. And then I messed up, got the final episode date wrong.
Yeah, how dare you?
Which, in time relevance, doesn't come out until next week as of today's recording. So we're like, crap, can't cover it. So in a week's time, less than a week, we quickly binged this and quickly covered it as fast as possible so we can be prepared for it today. And we were already mostly watched through this, so we were already familiar with this series anyway.
Yeah, I had already watched this once. I'm pretty sure you had already watched it once.
I was on episode 9.
Okay.
And, we're like, let's cover this. So I was like, okay, I'm already there. I like the show anyway.
Yeah, that works out. Just gives you an excuse to finish the series.
Exactly.
So I'm glad. I'm glad you could finish this series because it was good.
Definitely. Yeah. If we didn't do this, I wonder how long it would have stayed at episode 9 before I finally got caught up because, goddamn, there's a lot of good stuff going around right now. And
I'll be honest with you trying to speed run Naruto, and I'm pretty sure you were going to watch Shippuden right after.
Oh, yeah. I had previously speedrun Naruto. I'm currently on Shippuden.
Oh, okay. Even still, that's 700 plus episodes.
Yeah. It's going to take me a minute.
Yep.
As a side anime.
And because this was not this past season, but the season previously, it and everything that's coming out next season, which is a fuck ton of stuff coming out next season, you weren't getting to this.
No, the watch list is way too big. And that's just anime talk. There's a bunch of other stuff that I'm highly interested in on the side as well on other platforms.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, back to My Assassin.
Yes, I brought it up previously. I really enjoyed the fact that it was Amelia and Akira instantly were like, yep, we like each other, we want to spend our time together, and there was no wishy-washiness, which is pretty common.
Oh yeah, I was prepared for this conversation too. I much appreciated that they cut right through it. Let's just get to the point where we commit to each other fully, enough to the point where we're going to scar our finger to simulate marriage.
Yep.
Or at least a proposal at the very least.
Yep.
And I really like that.
Yeah, because he was like, man, she's the prettiest thing I've ever seen. And I was like, oh, here we go. This is going to be like only internal thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just going to be all shy and awkward around her. I mean, he kind of was, but that's more of the, hey, I never experienced this kind of awkwardness, not the I can't express myself at all kind of awkwardness.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I guess I should also say my light novel didn't stop at the Elven area. It did continue into the other heroes entering the Edo period area.
Okay.
And how they were just enjoying the area about like, hey, we're in a new world, but everything feels so Edo Japan. And everything was like basically exactly the same. So like the anime, they just went into a little bit more detail. So That's where I stopped. I just remembered.
Okay.
Nothing of serious note.
Yep. The previous hero, how long ago do you think it was that he got summoned?
That's a good question because there's a lot of interesting little tidbits about the previous hero, his relation to Akira, influences on the rest of the world, and the second in command demon Mahiro
was also, well, we could talk about that and we'll come back to him.
Yeah, let's talk about Mahiro a little bit in the future. Let's stick on the original main hero.
Yep.
It is, geez, I don't even know. I want to say maybe 100 years ago.
So also they had said it'd been a couple hundred years since the fight with the hero party and
the last demon lord.
Okay,
yep, that's
so it's been like 200 years since.
Yep, that makes sense. So yeah, I'm gonna just go at a solid 200 years. I don't have much information.
And then the other thing is, do you think time is in parallel? Because one thing that I forgot to mention is, so the ring, the guiding ring, that was written in English. So the main hero knew English and he was Japanese.
Oh, interesting. I didn't pick up on that. At least in the light novel either. Maybe it was just quick, but still.
So you'd have to think it's not going to be 200 years. We're not going to talk about 200 years in the past for the hero because, well, let's be honest, 200 years ago, they're not going to know English.
Yeah. IRL. A Japanese person 200 years ago today isn't going to know English.
No, because that would like basically the start of the United States. Granted, it could be England, but still.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the odds of that being a thing.
Well, that and, they were very isolated for exceedingly a very long time. Like, they were isolated in a time period where the United States was a country. Japan was still isolating themselves. So
exactly.
Knowing English would not be they wouldn't have come from the Edo period and known English.
Right, exactly. So yeah, I like your idea about time scaling being faster in this new world versus IRL.
Yep. Ooh, you know what I just thought of? His dad disappears.
It's exactly what I just thought too. Yep.
What if we find out that his dad didn't leave them and was summoned, and that is why he never came back?
Exactly. I love it. That's exactly where I went to. I can definitely see that being a thing. And then, I was about to say, and then what if he runs into his dad? But that was 200 years ago in this new world.
Yep. I believe the hero's dead. Yeah. So that's not going to happen.
But at least maybe he can find out that his dad was a hero and he can at least forgive him for that, for leaving his family.
Because it would be kind of curious that, a lot of the things that the previous hero had, Akira has. So it's like,
yeah, definitely.
Is it a genetic, not genetics the wrong term, but is it a hereditary thing?
Sure. Yeah, definitely. Makes sense.
That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm all for that one.
That'd be really crazy because he keeps talking about how his dad, he kind of understood because, his dad was doing everything all the time and then just disappeared.
Yep.
So it's it's weird to go from taking care of the entire family with no issues to just disappearing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Made us anime watchers believe that he gave up and wanted to take just desert his family.
Yep.
But it wouldn't make sense if there was this reason behind it.
Now I'm really looking forward to the ending. I'm assuming this won't happen until the end of the series, but it'd be really interesting.
Exactly.
The only thing is, if his dad looks like Akira, if Akira's dad looks like him, Crow should recognize him.
Yeah, because he's been alive for a long time. Yeah, and Crow was part of the previous party.
Crow was a part of the previous party. Now, if he had said something about hey, I got summoned, I essentially left my family, don't say anything. I could see something like that happening where he was like, if you ever happen to run into my family, don't bring it up because like they would have moved on or something along those lines.
Sure.
I can see something like that happening too.
Yeah, definitely. And Crow is very like to himself because he's made mention that like he doesn't take on students because no one can keep up or take what he can give and stuff like that. Like he's been through a lot. So I can see him just like he's got his one mission and that's taking out Graham.
Yep.
And then like that's literally all he cared about. So like I can see him being single-minded and reserved.
Yeah, I can see that happening too, where it's like he doesn't even actually look at Akira because he's so single-mindedly focused on killing Graham that he doesn't even notice that they look the same.
Sure. Plus,
And
it's been forever.
It's been 200 years, so it very easily could have kind of forgotten how detailed his face looks.
Sure.
That'd be very interesting. Probably not going to happen. It's probably not going to be what it is, but I really I like that idea.
I love it so much. I would now be a little sad if it doesn't.
So I'd say let's focus on the first half of the series, and then we can kind of focus on the second half of the series after. I'm trying to think. The summoning, pretty atypical. We do find out that essentially a shit ton of people have to be sacrificed.
Yeah, I don't think we got like any kind of number, but we did learn that there was a large sacrifice for like I think the book said the book made mention of like 28 students. I don't remember if Akira was like there's 28 students in my class and some of them were off to lunch or whatever. So they only summoned what was in the classroom. And I think that might have been like 17-ish. But there was a large number of heroes that were summoned. A lot more than I thought that the anime showed.
Yeah, I don't remember how many.
Yeah, I didn't take note of it, but I just remember that there was a much larger number than my anime brain is telling me.
That's fair. You do kind of find out how many sacrifices there are. And it's, oh man, what's her name? The
blue-haired girl?
The blue-haired girl that loves Crow. Leah?
Okay, yep.
So it took her entire village.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, as far as my listening to the light novel, they didn't get to that point. Leah obviously got introduced when Akira fled the capital, but
yes,
I didn't get to any more further information. And I don't have a solid memory of this in the anime.
I didn't say it because I didn't remember exactly. But basically, after Akira wakes up from his day-long nap, so Leah is kind of explaining like where she comes from and all of that stuff while they're going down to save Amelia. And then when Akira wakes back up, he's like, all right, now finish your story. And Amelia's there to find out about the slime, to find out that all of Amelia's family was essentially captured by the slime, except for Amelia. And then because she put her protective barrier over them, she was able to track them. They got tracked to the human where the kingdom is. And then she was essentially there to witness them all get sacrificed to summon the hero.
Okay.
And all of Akira's classmates.
Yep.
And that is why she says specifically that I don't blame you because you're just essentially a bystander as to what happened. It's the king's fault that my entire village was killed.
Yep. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I let that pass over me, but definitely makes sense.
Now that I'm thinking about it a little bit harder, I don't think she goes into that exactly, but I know she kind of talks about it.
Right.
So that was very interesting. I really did like Sauron as a character. I thought he was very quirky.
Yeah. Yeah. He kind of had like a little sassiness. Like obviously we knew that he was getting a coup prepared and he had a strong attraction towards Akira and his abilities. So he thought of him to be the next member of the coup to help do his thing.
Yep.
And then, obviously he got figured out and murked, but he was definitely, I mean, we learned more that like Knight knew him and
which means he had to have been super strong.
Exactly. I'm sure we'll get even more information about the future.
Yep. Yeah, I thought he was a very interesting character. I liked the fact that he tried to convince Akira to not be an assassin that kills.
Yeah, that was a very interesting twist in the title of this kind of a series.
That and, the job title of a person. And then, if you're trying to convince somebody to help you and create a coup, you kind of need to kill people
Exactly.
in order to succeed. So it's just kind of, it's like counterintuitive to convince Akira to not want to kill. And it's like, I like that out of Sauron because he still wants to succeed in his goals, but he also isn't trying to manipulate other people to succeed in his goals.
Right.
And yeah, it sucks that he dies. I think he essentially sacrificed himself is what I believe happened, because they talk about how he didn't really put up a fight.
Yep.
And so it's like he probably did this to make sure that Akira like didn't get woken and try to help
and be involved.
Yep.
And potentially killed in his stead.
Yep.
So yeah, because even Graham was like, it was such a pathetic way to die. I was expecting more entertainment out of this, and
Yep.
which is still kind of weird. Like, I can understand that maybe he was a sacrifice to let Akira stay alive so that he wouldn't be involved.
Yep.
But at the same rate, obviously it turned into a revenge kind of a series. So it was going to happen almost regardless. I don't know.
Yes, but then he, creates the video and tells him, don't seek vengeance. Which, if you paid attention, that ball thing was next to the go bag.
Yep, it was next to it, but it was on a chair. So you can, on my second rewatch, you can see like, oh, well, it wasn't like part of one big package and he just grabbed that one thing and go. It was an additional item that he was supposed to grab.
Yeah, it's perfectly understandable that he missed, because like my first watch through, I thought it was money. And so he was like, oh, I'm not going to take his money. I'll figure out how to survive. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll figure out how to survive without money, without needing to take this.
Right. And the go bag was basically rations. There could have been money in there too. I'm not entirely sure. But the light novel was telling me that it was basically a month's worth of rations.
Essentially, it was what you would think is a go bag. Yeah. So there was probably a little bit of money, but nothing, very minimal at best.
Oh, obviously this leads into the Labyrinth arc. But another bit of information that the light novel told me was that there's a theory that at the bottom of every labyrinth, after level 100, there's like a crystal orb life thing that is keeping the labyrinth alive. And then if you break that crystal, the whole labyrinth comes down.
Interesting. I wonder if that's how you get your extra skill.
Sure.
Because they talk about how if you, I guess, let's confirm. So is it they reach level 100 like yourself?
They also said that it's never been confirmed because all the dungeons are still there.
Yes.
And they said that there's 4 continents and there's a labyrinth on each continent.
I bet you there's more than one on each continent, but
could be. That's just obviously quick listening.
Yeah. But my question is it if you reach level 100 of the labyrinth, you get an extra skill, or if you reach level 100 as an individual, you get an extra skill?
Either or.
I feel like, just because I'd want to make it more interesting, is that the labyrinth can get you extra skills, and the crystal could be how you get the extra skill. But I think just beating, like, that's essentially the reward for beating the 100th floor boss, is you get an extra skill.
Yeah, I would imagine so, because...
Could you imagine, like, grinding to level 100, and that's the only time you get a skill?
That would definitely make skills more rare.
Mm-hmm. Which, they talk about how they are very rare.
Oh, definitely. But of course, they're so plentiful in our hero squad.
Yeah. Well, all we really know about is, I would assume the hero has some sort of hero skill. And then Akira has skills.
Yeah, Akira has his shadow. One dude has like his intuition. There's the all-seeing eyes. There's a small handful of like OP powers. So I imagine at that rate, level 100 would unlock another OP thing for anybody.
But I don't think, because the friend, Kisuke, yeah. I don't think the intuition was a skill. I think it was just kind of like gut feelings.
Well, they did talk about how he had a higher level on intuition. Like, he didn't want to cheat on a raffle with his intuition. They also said, like, my intuition's telling me that Akira has gone through a transformation. He's not dead or in trouble. It's just something has happened. He's, like, evolved. Oh. So there is an extra perk to his intuition.
Okay, yeah, I'm seeing skills, mathematics, curved sword, dual blades, intuition, fire magic.
Okay, yeah.
And then extra skill, understand language. All of them probably get that skill.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's that. And then let's go to Tsukasa and let's see what he has as far as skills are concerned. Okay, yeah, he is mesmerize, martial arts, swordsmanship, elemental. So he's then holy sword. That's his extra skill.
Okay.
I guess I missed one for Kaisuke. He has tactician as his extra skill, which they don't talk about them too much. Let's go into... Okay, they don't go into his... Yeah, that's about all the characters that they go into as far as... Let's see if I can find any of the female characters. Some of his female classmates.
There was a handful of them. The only one that truly stands out that in my memory is there was like the debuff one and a healer. There was a handful of them for sure that were super side characters.
Yeah, super side characters is a great description. Yeah, they're so side characters that they don't even get real information on this fandom character stuff. So yeah, that's perfectly fine. That, like I said, that's fine. Nothing too crazy as far as they're concerned. I like the fact that not everybody gets like 100 skills.
Yeah, I like that they pretty much said that all these heroes that were summoned were essentially just a little bit better than your average good person.
Yeah, essentially they're on par with beast folk.
Yeah. Also, it's obviously interesting that like the hero was summoned and he's got all these stats and everyone's oohing and awing. And then there's Akira in the background. Like, yeah, my stats are way better than his.
Yeah, let me not display any of this stuff.
Staying on this and usually jumping into like our favorite characters, Akira was definitely my favorite character in this one because of his mindset on everything, the way he was cautious about everything, and I liked his tactician on everything. The way he handled himself in the beginning made sense. He didn't trust anybody, and it paid out. So I like that. I like the fact that he's got the shadow skill that is very unknown to us still, but we know that it's super powerful. It happened. Like, it basically is like a second mind to protect himself. So I can't wait to see more out of that.
Yeah, super, super OP.
For sure. He's just a great main character. And I don't always go for the main character, but I really did appreciate Akira on this one. So I'm just going to use him for this one.
That's fair.
What were your thoughts?
I kind of agree. He was a really, really... Okay, that's exactly who I thought it was. He was a really good main character. Just... His personality was good, and everything that he did in that one, he was a really good main character. If I had to... Oh, man. It's really hard to pick a second character. Like, Amelia is a good support character. She's really interesting.
She'd be the next one that we would know the most about.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Sauron. Fuck it. It's
good boy.
I really enjoyed him. Like I had mentioned earlier, that my favorite part about him is that he was willing to do what he could for the coup, but he wasn't willing to sacrifice Akira's essentially moral compass to get what he wanted.
Yep, I like that.
And we're kind of getting more information about Sauron postmortem, and I think it's really cool. I think he's really interesting. Kalika, I really liked her powers, like how she used the wind powers was really cool.
Yep.
But we got nothing about her, so I can't pick her.
And compared to the light novel, I'm not too surprised. Like, I'm pretty sure the light novel didn't go into any detail whatsoever about her wind powers.
Yep.
So I think that was potentially a future add-on that the anime took on.
Yeah, that's fair. Crow is a really interesting character, but he's kind of, you could almost call him one-dimensional.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, he's very surface level.
He's very interesting, but, like, I'm not dying to know more, especially after, like, we completed his goal of killing Graham.
Yep.
We know he's old. We know he explained that beast folk typically live twice as long as humans, and his mother, like, ingested something which increased Crow's lifespan even more. So I guess we need to learn more about what that's all about.
Yep.
Other than that,
and then they talk about how...
Just background information I need from him.
Yeah, they talk about how if you have a super large mana quantity as a beast folk, you basically stop aging when you reach your max, like your peak performance. And so that's why he looks like that, even though he's a couple 100 years old.
Yeah.
All interesting, but we're kind of getting all the information we need about him. And I'm just like, yep, cool. Great character.
Back to ages real quick.
Yes.
I can say that Amelia is over 400 years old, that the light novel said.
Okay.
So it's really funny that like her and the high schooler are engaged and in love, which is fine because we also learned that on the second half of the series, Crow and Leah also have a very large age gap, but they explained that when you live so long, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So cool, go with it.
Yeah.
And also Night, I think they said it was a little over 100 years old, something along those lines.
I feel like, no, it had to have been at least a couple 100 years old. 200
at max. I feel like the light novel said like 100. So one of the two.
Okay.
Definitely Amelia's older.
Yep.
Because the light novel is saying like Amelia may be older and wise in her own experience, but because she doesn't know anything about the demon realm and how sheltered she's been in the elven community,
yep,
she really doesn't know as much as she ought to know for living so long.
That's fair.
But the next character that I'm super interested in, can't say it's a favorite character, but definitely have my highest interest in is Laddie.
Yes. And then did you pick up on who she sounds like?
Yeah, Slime.
Yes.
At first, there was moments where I was like, oh, you kind of sound like Slime. And then like she talked again. I'm like, maybe you don't sound like Slime. But obviously, I didn't pull it up and like.
Yeah, I looked it up.
You did?
It's Brittany.
Okay. But yeah, I was like, it's got to be. So it was really fun to see that one.
Yeah, I was like, it's got to be her. And then, I just looked it up and it's her. Yeah. It's like, that checks out.
Yeah, you confirmed it. But yeah, Laddie is definitely interesting.
Fun character.
Definitely. Not what you expect out of a Demon Lord's daughter. Such a rebel that she is.
You don't see too many demons not wanting to kill.
Yeah, exactly. That too. I really like that. Like, she's like, don't kill in front of me, and getting all poetic, like don't end people's chapters before their natural conclusion kind of stuff. I like that. Which makes me very interested in her in the future because we know she's super ass strong. There was a scene where she entered the guild and then like there was those group of guys that were just drinking before they found the information about the boost manufacturing kind of stuff. And like she overpowered one of the guards by grabbing his shoulder, forcing him to sit back down. And then there was a quick scene where she released her hand and like his armor was all busted. So like that was like super casual, but at the same rate, like obviously she was holding back, so I want to see even more out of her. Yeah, she's super strong, and I am very curious about just kind of how strong. I thought it was really cool that she could fly. Yeah, that threw me off. It was that's kind of like a big like cheat scene after that other scene where they went back to the guild and Laddie saved them and flew away. I was like, okay, now you can just magically fly. Hey, isn't this cool? Did throw me off though that they gave like ending credits music during that and there was still like half an episode to go. Yeah, that also threw me off. I was like, what? Because of course Crunchyroll is like, do you want to skip the closing? I'm like, they're talking right now, why would I want to skip this? Yeah, exactly. So yeah, she is a very good character. I want to know more about her because as you said, she doesn't kill, so what? She's obviously much like her mother where she doesn't want to kill, but how strong is she? And like, what else does she get herself into? Right. Yeah, she ran away to go do her own thing, but I feel like she's going to be dragged into some form of a final fight against her dad. I feel like she's definitely going to play a role in that. I don't think there's going to be a fight, but yes, I think there's going to be something that she has to intervene and kind of stop whatever is happening. One topic that really threw me off was essentially the scene skipping of Graham's assassination. Okay. Like, it took less than 5 seconds. You see Akira pull up his sword and then stab. And then we all learned that he assassinated Graham. My first impression was like, did he actually kill him? Yep. Is he actually dead? But then Akira went into so much detail about like, I took his life. It was so easy. It didn't mean anything. Like he went into like a sad state about how easy it was and his assassination kind of skill, like showing some light. So obviously Graham's got to be dead, but I did find it a little strange that they didn't like show him, his face, make a scene out of everything. They like didn't show him like bust into his room or fight off guards. He was just a clean assassination. Well, they saw him in his room. I show him in his room, and then he like is standing there and the lightning is going on, and then they kind of skip forward to like the next, when later that night, I guess you could say it. Sure. And yeah, it was interesting. I
would have thought they would have shown something. I would
A little bit more of a climactic buildup.
Something along those lines, or like proof that he had killed Graham. But nope, it was just, all right, he's dead. And you're going to accompany us to the demon realm, right? Yep, all right, let's go. And you're just like, all right, okay.
Yeah, so I wonder if the light novel goes into more detail about that.
I would imagine.
Also, just before that scene even happens, when he's fighting that other assassin on the roof, that dude was making a comment like, don't take my job away from me or whatever. Don't take away my assassin. So was that dude also trying to assassinate Graham?
Yeah, but I could see people trying to assassinate him all the time.
On the reg? Sure.
Just because he's a shitty person.
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought that was interesting.
Yep. Before we continue, I think now is a good time for a break.
Hey everyone, just taking a moment to tell you guys about our other podcast, D&D Noobs. Follow us on our shenanigans as we try to save Earth from some monstrous priests. Find us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Just search D&D Noobs, that's Noobz. And now back to our episode.
Now that we are back from our break, let's get into a little bit more speculative talk and just kind of wrap things up from here. So as far as season 2, do you think they're immediately going to go to the demon realm, or do you think something else is going to happen in between?
That's a good question, because it definitely sounds like they're obviously going to work their way towards the demon realm.
Yep.
We know the demons are the strongest race in this world.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess to keep drama somewhat alive, there's got to be something that's going to happen before they actually reach the demon realm.
Yep.
I can't see that being like an episode 2 kind of thing where they're like touch foot there and they're like already there. So something's got to happen. We got so much more information to find out about Crow. Maybe some other back history thing is going to prevent us from moving too forward too fast.
Well, Amelia has to completely learn his ability.
That too.
So I feel like while they want to get to the demon realm, they need to wait until she's mastered that, or at least mastered it as best as she can.
That, or at least on a journey there, they just continuously learn.
Yep. And then we know about Mojito.
Oh yeah, I kind of skipped over him.
Yeah, let's get into him a little bit. But we know about him and how I'm assuming he used to be human.
Yeah, because they said that he used to live in Japan.
Yes. Yeah, he's like, I used to be one of your kin, but now don't expect anything from me, or something along those lines.
Right.
And so how did he turn into a demon? How is, like, what happened to him?
Yeah, so was it to some kind of degree? Was he summoned with the last hero 200 some years ago?
Yep.
And somehow he got recruited by the demons? Was he isekai'd into the demon realm, and then he was given the demon title? So we got some more information to find out there. I kind of see either of those two options.
And we know he's super strong. We know he's the second strongest demon. So, like, how did he get so strong? Like you were saying, that would be super curious or super interesting if he got summoned to the demon side, or summoned alongside the demons.
Yeah. Are they isekai'ing people as well as like the humans are?
That would be very interesting. Or they only did the one and they're like, you know what, we got this guy. He's super strong. We don't need a second one. That kind of doesn't make any sense, but you never know.
You never know. Like, we did it right the first time.
Yep. And then we also know that the current demon king doesn't, like, he was the one that attempted to sign a peace treaty with the rest of the world.
Yeah. He also wanted to recruit Akira.
Yes. But he did also try and abduct Amelia.
That too. Yeah, so what we need a lot more information about his thought processes and the demon's plans.
We know, I mean, we understand why he wants Amelia's powers, because his wife was killed, murdered.
Was that the Demon King or was it the King?
Both.
Both of them want to resurrect past love? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I remember definitely the current human king wanted to do... Oh, wait. Maybe I'm confusing the two now.
You know what? I think he's just a terrible person.
Yeah, he might just be a shitty person.
Yeah, I think he might just be a terrible person.
Regardless, somebody wanted to resurrect
Well,
an ex-lover, and Amelia's current state can only revive someone who has recently died, so they needed to do like the next level up of her resurrection.
Yes. I'm going to assume that it's only the Demon King.
Yeah.
Because I do know for a fact that his wife was murdered.
Okay.
And so are they going to get there? Amelia's going to be strong enough, can resurrect the queen demon, and it's all hunky-dory and everything's fine. That would be that'd be kind of anticlimactic.
Oh, wait, isn't the whole resurrection thing is what Crow's trying to teach Amelia to begin with?
No, he is teaching her essentially negate abilities. So he's trying to teach her the ability he used against Mahiro.
Okay.
Which was that golden thread thing that negated all of his powers.
Right. Okay.
Which that's something I forgot to mention. The fight was different. Basically, Shadow Akira was about to kill Mahiro, and that is when Crow came in because Mahiro was trying to kill Amelia and negated the ability. I guess that is the same. Never mind.
Something like that, yeah, because Akira was about to be stabbed by like this attack. Crow walks through the front door and then like negates it go away.
Yeah, because Akira got stabbed in the stomach a second time, essentially.
Yep.
And was just like, auto heal. I'm perfectly fine. And Mahiro went after Amelia instead. So yeah, I think that happened. That basically it happened in the anime as well. So never mind. But that is what Crow is attempting to teach Amelia, is the negate ability.
Okay, yeah, it's all coming back.
So Mahiro is a very interesting character because we know essentially nothing about him except for the fact that he used to be Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
Very curious. I hope we get some sort of more information about him. But Akira wouldn't want to use his shadow like transformation thing that he did, where he basically died, against him again because he can't keep relying on that.
No, at least to a point where we might be able to assume that it could consume him, and like Akira can go on, like he'll black out, and then like his shadow ability will take over, and then go berserk, go nuclear, maybe destroy everything.
Attempt to kill the Demon King, right, even though he doesn't want to kill the Demon King.
Yep.
Something along those lines.
Yeah. And in the very last seconds before the Demon King dies, Akira wakes up and he decides not to kill him because Akira's back to himself.
Yeah, no, he attacks Lattice Nail instead, and that's when he wakes up.
Oh, that could be something too. Yeah, he accidentally hurts her and then
comes to. Right. Yeah, that'd be super fucked. Do you think they're gonna be able to find a way to go back to the human world?
Yep, that was a good question too, because obviously Akira left behind a sick mom and a young sister who has to take care of her sick mom.
Oh, that's something else I forgot to mention, but continue. Sorry.
So you'd like to imagine that things can go back to normal-ish and like his family can be taken care of?
Yep.
But you never know, because like when they got teleported to the Elven area, he stated that going back, because the teleportation takes you to wherever you truly want to go. Yep. And he made a comment that he let that thought out of his mind and he didn't care about it at that moment. So maybe you might want to think like he's truly appreciating this world. He doesn't want to leave Amelia behind, which is going to be a hard part. If she dies, that'll be an easy decision in the future. But at the same time, that's going to be a good question, because obviously this new isekai world is going to, that's kind of redundant. This new isekai is going to be very interesting, and he's adapting very well, but he's also got his own reservations.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that one? I know you got 2 points to talk at this point.
I want to believe that he figures out a way to go back, and it's going to be he either won't go back without Amelia or Amelia goes with him. I feel like she has to go with him in order for
a happy ending,
him to go back. Yeah.
Right.
And I could see that happening where maybe Amelia finds a way to resurrect the queen demon, and as a reward for essentially bringing peace between all the four nations, the Demon King creates a summoning circle that allows for Knight, Amelia, and Akira to go to his world.
Sure. And
it's like you can either stay here or go back to go back to your world, and like this is your one time pass.
Sure. That could definitely be a possibility. What about his sister and mom that you were thinking of?
So, this is something I forgot. Akira and his sister are also twins.
Oh, that's not what the light novel said.
Yeah, that's what the manga said, is that they're twins, and they were born. So I'd gotten the Amelia and Kalika confused. So Akira and his sister were born. They're twins, but they were born on separate days. So that is why they were at different schools. And the Kalika and Amelia thing, they're like standard twins.
Okay. Light novel said that they're a year apart.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
There's more information out there, I guess.
Yeah. I want to believe that the end of the series is when Akira gets to go back. Or, the mom and the sister get summoned.
That could be another thing.
I can't see that one happening, but that would be interesting.
I'd put more money on Akira going back.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
But as far as season 2 kind of material to continue,
I think it's just all build up to fight the Demon King.
I agree.
I think we're going to focus on the other classmates, them getting stronger. There's probably some turmoil going on somewhere, maybe another demon attacks, and they don't get killed, but they get defeated very easily, and it kind of breaks their spirit.
Sure.
But yeah, I think it's going to be kind of a build-up season with just some sprinkling of Akira doing some assassin stuff. I don't think it'll be anything it'll essentially be a repeat of season 1, which would be fine.
I agree. I think now that Akira has his one kill under his belt, I think he will do a couple more kills. I don't think he's going to go all willy-nilly and start killing everybody, but I think he will do a couple more. He'll feel regret about it, but like he's going to have to tell himself like this is for the greater good kind of deal. The hero parties definitely got to continue to grow.
Yep.
And I foresee Laddie joining the party and just journeying their way to the demon world, demon continent, with side quests along the way.
Okay.
A lot of build up on Crow too. We need more information on him.
Okay.
And Sauron.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more background information on Sauron. I can see that. Maybe Night finally reveals how they know each other.
Exactly. Yep, that's my expectation. Other than that, I'm not going to go too much further because that's kind of how I just want to foresee things happening.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be super intense, but I feel like it'll be still enjoyable.
Yeah, right there with you.
Awesome. I think that is all we have for my status as an assassin. Obviously exceeds the heroes.
Yep.
But before we go, Lance likes to do his Pokemon quiz, and I attempt to try to not make myself look like a fool.
All right, so we're going to jump into Generation 1 questions. And question 1, Mr. Mime, to be technical, is there a period after the Mr.?
Ooh.
Yeah, right?
Ooh. I'm going to go with no.
No? All right. I did choose kind of like 50-50 questions for this one because it's just you and me.
Yeah, that's fine.
The correct answer is yes, there is a period after Mr.
Interesting. Even in the game?
Well, that's what Generation 1 was showing me.
Interesting. I don't remember it in the game, but that's fine. I think I only ever traded for it and then immediately put it in my box.
Yeah, exactly. All right, next question. True or false? Graveler has 4 arms.
False.
Going false with Graveler having 4 arms. The correct answer is true.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Oddly enough, Graveler does have 4 arms, evolves into Golem with 2 arms. So it goes from 2 arms to 4 arms to 2 arms.
That's funny. Okay.
So I did look into this a little bit, just ever so briefly. I went to like one quick Reddit page.
Yep.
There's like 2 kind of theories going around. One, his extra arms eventually just molds into his golem body. And the other theory that most people thought of was the original idea. You trade a golem with 4 arms with a Machoke with 2 arms, and Graveler loses his 2 extra arms and gives them to Machoke, who gives Machamp with his 4 arms, which makes Golem back to 2 arms.
Sure.
That's what a lot of people out there were thinking.
Sure. That makes no sense, but yeah, let's. It's not like they're hopping into each other's Pokeballs and then jumping out and evolving.
Yeah, like swapping DNA and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But whatever, I guess.
Yeah, just a little quirk of character design back then.
Yep.
And my final question, what level does Doduo evolve?
Duo. I know we get him kind of later in the game, so let's go with 38.
Okay, not too far off. It's going to be a little, I can't say. It's going to be lower and strange.
Lower and strange. Is it going to be 35?
Going with 35?
No, go with 35.
Okay, not too bad. The correct answer is 31.
31. Okay, yeah, that is strange. I was like, it can't be 34. It's not going to be 32. It's not 36.
Yeah.
I was like, 35. 35 is a weird one because
I feel like after I said that you were going to say 33, but
no, not. I didn't think it was going to be 33 either because I don't think 31 is strange. 31's a weird one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, that was a good try on my part. I failed terribly.
Yeah, that's a 0 for 3 today.
That's an offer. That's fine. Do this for fun. Hopefully the listeners, you guys, do better than I do.
Yeah, pick up Matt's slack there.
The first two are 50-50, so if you just listen to my answer and say the opposite, you would get the answer correct.
Yeah, right. All right, but that will conclude today's episode. Thank you, everybody, for listening this far. If you are interested in anime news, please follow The Anime Show on Facebook and Instagram. And until next time, we'll see you guys.